Welcome to Capitol Today. I'm Hilary Kennedy, and I'm excited to sit down and have a chat with a woman who has a plan, a purpose, and a passion for people. Aimee Ramsey, you're a candidate for the House District 114. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, so I would love to talk to you because you are not a career politician, which is something that people really love about you, and I think that's really drawing a lot of interest. So I want you to tell people what your number one priority is when you get into office. What's the main thing that's really been driving you?
Well, when I get into office, I do want to work with all the other House legislators, and I want to work with Governor Abbott to get the borders secure. And we want to reconstruct our legal immigration so that it's safe for both sides. Right now, it's unsafe for the people coming over, and it's also unsafe for the people who live here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that brings up a great point, talking about the issues at the border, because people feel very strongly about that from both sides, and it's made things very polarized. So in that sort of polarized climate politically, how do you plan to sort of foster bipartisanship and work with people from both sides of the aisle and make it work?
Absolutely. So in looking over my district, I do see that there are both sides to both stories. And I feel like when you have the opportunity to listen to your people and actually take their voices and their word back to Austin, I think that's what we're missing a lot of, right? Mm-hmm. You know, our representatives aren't representing us anymore. And so I feel like that's something I can bring because I am we the people. And so I do want to listen to all aspects, all sides of it, and I want to bring us all together because ultimately we do want a better America.
And do you feel like your experience in not being a career politician really helps you in that way? Because, I mean, you have been one of the people. This is not something that you've been doing lifelong. And so do you think that's going to really help you when you get into all of these issues, working with people who maybe feel totally differently than you do, by having this fresh new perspective?
I do, actually. Our founding fathers, none of them were politicians. They were all farmers and business owners and, teachers. So when they all came together to create this country that we all live in, they weren't career politicians at all. So that's what built us, that's what created us, and that's what allowed us to survive this long. So I do feel like we are missing that aspect, we the people. Mm-hmm. I feel like the career politicians have kind of taken it out of our hands, and that's what I want to bring back. I want to bring back we the people,
I think that's great. And there's a fun fact about you. You were homeschooled, which is so neat. And now you are an entrepreneur. You have multiple businesses. You've been creating jobs. You've been financing home loans. You have an Amazon affiliate. You own several properties. So how important is it to you to stimulate job growth within House District 114 and really sort of foster the American dream?
It is extremely important. I want to bring back the ambition for the American dream. And what I mean is, when I was a kid, I grew up thinking that if you worked hard enough, if you had enough drive and determination, you could achieve any goal that you set your mind to, mm-hmm. and that you could be anything you wanted to be. And when I look around at what's going on right now, I don't feel like people believe that anymore, And if we take it back, that's what America was built on, It was the unique individual qualities of our founding fathers, the people who came over here, who, left hard times, the people who got together, they created everything, and they built this based on imagination and creation. I feel like if we lose those qualities of America, we lose America.
Right. I mean, that truly is what's made us a great nation and why everyone wants to come here.
Yes.
We've got that American dream alive. So you've also had some experiences where our system and our way of life have kind of failed you and your family. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. It's been probably 27 years now, but being thrown into becoming a single mother, I, as an American, as a taxpayer, reached out to the government for assistance and benefits to help get my children and I back on our feet. And I was denied. So I quickly had to change what I was doing. And, when things needed to get fixed, or when things needed to get corrected, or when things just needed to get done, that was left on me. I was the person that my children had to come to, and I had to make it work. But now we have an issue to where our benefits, our taxpayer money is actually being, used for illegal immigration to allow them benefits and to take care of them. So that is a system that does need to be broken, and that is a situation that, it is failing. It's failing our fellow American homeless veterans. It's failing our single parents that have fallen on hard times that just need help to get back up on their feet.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Politics can be really intense, and you obviously have a great passion for it. What did your family think when you told them, this is something I want to do? Like, I want to get involved. I want to make a difference, and I think I'm going to run. What was their response?
Well, it was kind of a question. The first question was, I called my mom after church, and I said, Mom, I've been praying about this. He's not answering me. And I had talked to a few people, and they all thought it was a great idea. And so my mom, her response was, well, it sounds like he's answered you, Aimee. You're just not listening to him. And I responded, I said, Mom, I really regret calling you right now. So, so at that point, I just thought, she's right. And this is time for me to step up again, when I stepped up to provide for my family and my future and my children. So yeah, it's time for me to step up again.
I love that. Well, and I love that you have really seen the good and the bad of how the system works, and how what makes our nation great. But also, there are some things that we really need to jump in and fix. And now is definitely, it's nice to see people like you that are here to preserve the American dream, but also you've walked the walk and now you're talking the talk. So I want to get to know a little bit more about you personally. I love that you've shared some stories about your family. I can't imagine that you have a lot of free time because you run all of these businesses and now you're running for office. But when when you have some downtime, what is it that you like to read? Is there something you like to read or listen to? What's something you can share?
Well, currently my go-to book is the Bible. When I finish it, I start over again, or I'll go book to book. But right now with the campaign and, running all of this, my main thing that I look to is information on how to run a campaign and information on what to do when I get into the House. I mean, what does the job entail? How do they do things? How does the structure work? And so, yeah, if you catch me in my car at any time, I will be listening to some sort of educational series on campaigning and being a legislator.
That's fantastic. I feel like we have a lot of people in Washington that should probably go back and listen to read some books and listen to some courses on how to be a better leader, how to be a man or a woman of the people. So it's wonderful that you're doing that. Can you tell me a little bit about what is it that really drives you to be the voice for District 114? I mean, what is it was there a moment or a catalyst or something that really drove you to be like, I really do want to get involved. I do want to be an agent for change here. Was there an issue or something that you saw on the news or something that you saw happening in your own community that you were like, somebody's got to stand up and do something about it, and I'm willing to answer the call?
It's a lot more simpler than that. Raising my children, going through hard times, struggling, and now my children have children, and when I look at my grandbabies and I lay next to them, and I just want them to have the same opportunity that we had. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to lose that for them.
I love that. I'm sure there are parents, grandparents listening, watching that know exactly what you're feeling. And I think it's so wonderful that you've answered the call to step up and be a part of the solution. So thank you so much for sitting down. And is there anything else that you want people to know about you that we haven't talked about or haven't covered? One thing for sure I want people to know is how they can get involved, how they can donate, how they can be a part and support what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to reach out and volunteer, we need the help. You can go to ramsey4house.com, and you can donate on the website as well. But yeah, right now I need all the help we can get. I really believe I stepped up to do this, to take our voices to Austin, and I really believe that now is the time for all of us to step up. So if you feel that it's time for you to step up, I will let you join my team, and we will work together, and we will get this accomplished.
Fantastic. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much, Aimee.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you
Aimee
so
Ramsey.
much.